Hey there, folks. It is 5:25 a.m. Tuesday, March 13th, 2017. Hello. Yeah, it's not early. But let's try to get this thing. Can I fix this where it actually... get away from my head. Okay. Why does this old man do this? Does he really think his information's that important? Yeah, it is. I'm not. The info is. It's the whole idea behind this. Excuse me. Speaking about info, good info. Before this video is over, you'll understand more about telepathy than you can find anywhere out there. It's important that you have this. Also, too, I want to say I've been fighting hard for a long time. I gave my services to produce about $250,000 in it over a 2-year period to take care of animals, and only $41,000, a little over that, went to taking care of them. That's when I first started doing this. Then I decided to do it for myself, and then included Deanna. Then I got so involved with the lawsuits, paying the lawyers over $80,000 over 2 years, and fixing a house and everything else, buying stone, selling it. We haven't been able to do anything, and now that I'm not paying lawyers anymore, we finally got to send some money to the Animal Recovery Mission. Isn't it the Animal Recovery Mission? Yeah. In Florida, they actually take people to court that are messing with animals. We've both been sick about the money. It was imperative to keep this house, okay? But we were both sick about the money we were spending, wasting in some way, some part, on lawyers. Never should have been that amount. Should have been done in less than a year. But anyway, took 2 years. Excuse me. We finally got to put some money their way, and we sent them a few grand. We're going to send them some more here soon. Anyway, we always do what we can to take care of who needs it first. But right now, I gotta go. I'm gonna do one more video, I know, but I know I will. I have to make it for Deanna later when I'm gone. But anyway, I'll probably say this video is about telepathy, but I actually had to take this insert and put it inside the video because I kept saying telekinesis. So you might hear it a couple more times through the video. It's about telepathy. I do mention telekinesis in the fact that it's never real. No person has ever had it through their body except for a couple of occasions, and if anyone ever claims to have done it, it's a lie. Sorry. Or they thought it was, and they had an angel or something move it for them, and by the end of March, that will never happen again. Anyway, you will, if you just watch this video, you will understand telepathy. You have to understand something before you can do it, okay? Understand the ingredients that go in a cake before you bake it, how much heat to put it at. Otherwise, it takes a whole lot longer and you might not ever get there, okay? The Earth is young. The Earth is young, and other people from other planets, they've been around a lot longer. Even in their religions, they understand that metaphysical abilities are real. They're good at it because they practice it and live it. And again, I'll tell you a couple more times through the video, It's really important for you to be able to do this so you can connect with these people. They're out there wanting to do it all the time. There's a whole bunch of different people on a whole bunch of different ships that want to talk to you. There are thousands, many thousands, over 4,000 ETs in space around us now, in our space, outside of the atmosphere. And they do come in and out. But they understand telepathy is real. So the idea here is to build your telepathic abilities. Telekinesis is not real. Pretty much the only thing that's ever telekinetically moved anything, which almost always was one of the angels out of body. You have to be free of these bodies before you can put together power like that. So for everyone else who's gotten excited about it and thinks, almost every one of you that are involved in this has had dreams of being telekinetic and everything. Not only have I heard it, I've had dreams like that when I was first waking up about that stuff, and I've been in different places. Excuse me. I've been in different places, and my core energy at the bottom would start flaring up. As soon as that happened, I had to lean over on something because there's so much energy going through my spine, my core, and stuff will go flying. It happened in stone shops and everything else, and people would be made to actually look at me and see it. Every time it happened, there'd be someone there that would be looking me right in the eye after it happened, and I didn't do anything. I just stood there. I just kind of lean over a little bit, hold on to something, because it puts so much energy through the body. So, and then he looked at me, smiled, and knew when I did it, and I didn't. First time I said something, and because I was pushed so hard to do it, and after that I never said anything again. It wasn't me instigating it through my mind, it was my energy doing it through my body just to make a point, and I'm like, don't need that point, thank you. Excuse me. So anyway, excuse me again. What I'm trying to do here is dispel some myths. We're gonna talk about exactly how telepathy works. There's 3 different types of telepathy. Okay, you never heard that one before. This is not whoopee-doo, I've got the information no one else does, although that's true, but I just want to offer it for you. I need to make this statement immediately before we start. And by the time I'm done, it's like, how do you drive a car? Well, you got to know what controls work what. Well, you're going to know that before the end of this video. Okay, having said that, before we get started, I need to throw some other stuff out there. This 3rd book, the rough draft, has been copyrighted with the title and everything else. Just got a new title. I'm going to turn the computer on anyway. The editor has it, and come on, what a mess. Oh, can't put that there. Hello. The title of the book has changed over what I thought it would be, because as I wrote the book, it kept changing. There's so much more information. If any of you are old enough to remember what an encyclopedia is, I guess they still have them out there. It's nice to have things in paper form. You can take it with you out in the woods, anything else you want. You don't need a plug, of course. Tablets and stuff, you don't need them, I'm aware of that, but if I can see with these, good enough. Anyway, but it's information at your fingertips. Come on, Jay. This book is it's not too inexpensive. Okay. Let's see. Let me open it up real quick. But we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. I'm just trying to get something done here. Oh no, that's weird. Okay. In Word document, anyway, the name of the book it's called Creation Book 3. Creation is History, Explosive Evolution, and ET Arrivals on Earth. Okay. It's got a total of 344 pages as a Word document. It's going to have more pages than that in actual 6x9 book form. 344, numerology of that, 4 and then a 3. 4 is very powerful fortitude, and 3 is positive things for everyone. So if you have the fortitude to continue, and you really want to wake up and waken up your abilities, become yourself, you really want to do it as fast as possible, you have to have this book. Do you have to have this book? No. Do you want to wake up, become your full self, and get information you will never find anywhere else unless it came from this book? Yes. All the videos I have out right now, this will be video number 552 on this channel. There are well over 500 videos on my other channel. Before I just literally shut it down after dealing with Google and their episodes. Anyway, I'm not going to be here when it's time to. I'm not going to be here to edit it, and honestly, that's a good thing because Deanna's from Spain. She lived in Miami the last 18 years of her life, other than a year and a little more than a year that she's been here with me. And, you know, she's been moving around, but, you know, now she's a homeowner. She understands quite a good bit about a lot of different languages. Most folks in Europe are taught that way. Down here in the U.S., we've been dumbed out intentionally. But anyway, all that's going to change. The thing is, Deanna knows the English language better than I do. I came here to do a very serious job. I've done it. The original first being is dead. All the big things that were out there are dead. That were a problem anyway. And then a lot of other stuff out there now is dead. My brain, I've done it through this body. This brain is screwed up, the damaged, you know. Am I screwed up? No, well, I'm almost dead now, finally. Deanna will do a better job than me for this book, and this book is very, very important to everyone who wants to wake up. I don't care if you like that. I don't care if you accept that. It doesn't matter. A fact is a fact. Who I am, this body is J. J. Essex, legal name John David Essex. Is that who I am? No. That's this body that's talking to you. But who's really talking to you inside? Amara. Amara's primary focal point. Here's what it is, no big deal. It's like telepathy. I talk so much with everyone, it's just talking. At first when it happens, hell, be excited. It's neat as hell. But after a while, you get used to it. If you can remember having been a child and been able to have a bicycle and start riding it when you first start, man, that's exhilarating. And then you get used to it and you get better at it. Anyway, this I'm going to put out one video after this about the book, and then after I'm dead, after this body's dead, hell, no one will ever get rid of me. But after I'm gone, she'll put the to show you the book, and she'll have it, the book. I've been saying the book funny lately. Deanna loves it. She teases the hell out of me. She'll show you the book. She'll put the picture of it up. And, you know, Deanna's really intelligent, but she's also an architect, you know, an artist, graphic designer, all this other stuff. So she's the right person for the job anyway. I won't be alive then. I gotta go. I can't keep staying here. I got a warning the other night. Ellie, I call her Ellie. Deanna calls her Ellie. You know, it's the same sound. We have different names just on this one planet with different from different places we live: Spanish, French, English, Russian, whatever. But she called and she said that the kids were being bothered. And at the time I told her just wait, because I was killing stuff on the other side. So anyway, our kids, Dan and I have 48 kids that were made from our materials. And they were being bugged. These are most of the super kids that have been created that are going to do. There's less than 60 of them total. I'm having to see this in my head. And these are the super freaks. And these children that made from Deanna and myself, that's our DNA evolved into something totally freaky. So they're going to be able to carry the most power through the body. And all these children have source spirit inside them. Strong source. That won't have its head up its butt. And if it does, they have to deal with Papa. Anyway, they were being attacked by garbage on the other side. So, as soon as I was aware of it, I said, ain't gonna happen. And my aggression kicked in, and the next thing I knew, what I am outside of my body took over and took care of that. You have no idea who you really are and what you can do. And all of you have the ability to be telepathic. Okay? I realize my videos are not 1, 2, 3, but they're filled with information that's powerful for you to use. A lot of my videos, I was trying to make them short, and they're always, you know, much longer. People, if you want to just find out about ETs or something, I've tried to put the ET stuff in the beginning and then tell you at the end, after it, I'll talk about something else, so I don't waste your time. That's not what I'm trying to do. And I'm not a politician. I'm not here for vote for me or something like that. I'm here to give you information. So anyway, the reason why I talked about the kids and everything else, folks, this telepathy, it's normal. And Elia, when she talked to us with me, I can't remember right now. I'm so weak. She talks with me, I think, in my right ear, and then Deanna in the left. Deanna hears like little clicking sounds. She's insectoid, and then a little pressure. And with me, it's more kind of strong pressure. It's harder to get my attention. This telepathy thing is important for you here, because those of you that are awake and aware, folks, you're the ones that are going to get most of the attention from our friends from other planets. That's what this is about. You become yourself, as much of yourself as quick as you can, and using it to talk with everyone else out there. Beings that look totally different from planets really far away. Really, really, really cool people, the vast majority of them. So, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, telepathy. What are we told telepathy is? You talk with your brain with other people. How you doing? How's this happening? How's this happening? Oh, no, it doesn't work like that. Okay? Not at all. Something's really strong, spirit out of body usually, it can go in your head and say something. And start talking with you if your mind's relaxing enough to open up. Now, even if your mind's not like that, if something's incredibly powerful, it can boom right into your head. I've gone into people's pineals and popped them so hard that they literally popped and looked right at me. This one guy was really sick. He was in a Starbucks, and he was looking at a young couple. You know, they were nice and whatever, pretty whatever. Guy and a girl, young ones just got married, and they were having fun. And he was looking at her, and with aggression, and I'm protective, man. That's what I do. And I was getting really bent out of shape because I was feeling his aggression towards her and him in a negative way, hurting him and then sexually hurting her. And then he got more cranked up, and I said, "Frack you." I went into his head to see what he was thinking about. And I literally saw what it was, and I'm going to change the wording a little bit. I went into his head and I said, "Hey, fracker, mother fracker, look, bitch." And then he just immediately turned around and looked right at me. And I told him, "I'm going to kill you." And I didn't say it quite like that. And then I showed him what I was going to do to him. He got up and left. You don't need to believe that. I don't expect you to believe that, but that's fact. You have to be strong as hell to punch into someone's head. I was driving down the road, and a truck driver, this wasn't too successful, he was kind of falling asleep driving. So I went into his head, and I said, "Go get some coffee." And I could see where he was tired, and he was not getting the message. So I hit him real hard, "Get some coffee," and then he started to wake up a little more. And then I pounded the hell out of his pineal real quick, and all of a sudden, when I did that, he started jerking his truck on the road to get back on his side. It was later on at night, and we were on the highway, driving somewhere. I was driving all the time. So that was enough to wake him up, and then when I did that, I said, "Coffee." And I just took off to get away from him. The other person needs to be open to telepathy and practice it for you to be able to have a conversation back and forth. But that's why if you begin now and start working on it, our friends in space, they've been doing that since they were the equivalent of us being 9 or 10. Younger, actually, but whatever. They're the ones that do it fluently. So when you develop your ability, you can talk on them. And the more you do it, the more you'll understand, and they're anxious to talk with those who can communicate telepathically. And why? They consider us more intelligent. Can we build rocket ships? No. Maybe yes. I had to develop differently. I had work to do. I had to move massive amounts of energy through my body, but learn how to condense my thought, my energy within my brain to also activate the rest of me outside of the body, which is the power. And I've said many times before, the original first being male, when I just first started waking up, before the first major attack, way before it. 2009. Things about 2009. No later than 2010. The original first being the male. Original first being male. When I was before I was sleeping, the two of them were talking. This is another type of telepathy. There's 3 types, like I said. We're going to tell you in a minute. But I'm trying to give you personal examples so you have a way to start to connect with the basic thought processes. Okay, there's no test. There's nothing to write down. You just listen, relax, and later on, what I say is it all starts coming together. Anyway, the two of them were talking. How were they going to try to take me over and run me, take over, control me? So, and of course, that was never going to happen. Sorry, they was trying to get me to sneeze, and it just stopped for a minute to say no sneeze. Stops, amazing. Anyway, relaxing and self-control, that's part of telepathy, and using your telepathic abilities, because you have them. You all have them. You use them more than you think. You find out about that in just a minute. So anyway, falling off track again. There's so little of me left in this body. Anyway, so I was listening to the two of them talk about how they were going to try to control me, and then I was right there next to them. They couldn't see me. And the female said to the male, I think we should do this, this, and that. And then I just laughed. I burst out as energy, telepathically. I burst out. And I said, hey, that's a good idea. Think that'll work? And then the female looked at me, and then the female looked back at him, the original first being male, and said, look how strong he got so quick. And then the male never said anything to her, but in his head, what he was thinking, he said, yeah, I'll fix that tonight. Now, they don't have bodies. How do you talk to yourself when you're out of body? The most normal way there is to communicate. Thought process. Simple. It's imagery and everything else. Thought process back and forth. There's feeling in there. When your spirit, your normal self, sentient energy, not stuck in a body, you have an energy field, which is like solar plexus, and then you have a brain center, and then you have heart, and then you do have an emotional thing in there, very small focal point for emotion. You use that to drive feelings when something's really necessary. It's like a little backup battery. When a computer goes down, it's got a little backup battery. That's basically what it is. We don't have much use for that. As we evolve from the soul is the first stage of evolution, or anything else, the first stage of evolution is a small orb, and then you have enough lives that you develop and evolve, and it opens up into a body. Book 1 of the Creation series explains all that. Who you are, where you came from, da-da-da-da-da-da. Switch cups. Having heart attacks, don't drink coffee. Yeah, I'm not worried about dying, not at all. Anyway, all right, so let's get to the 3 different types of telepathy. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, let me finish that. So that next morning, when I was asleep, the original first being male went into my head right here on the side of my brain, and he transmutated my brain where part of it's just dead. And overnight, he just did it overnight, and I woke up in the morning in bed, and I'm like, what am I? Where am I? Why am I? No crap. I was just, what? I barely knew to say what. And then I slowly got up, walked out of my bed, got out of my bed, walked out of my bedroom, and then I looked into this room over here to the left. It's the bathroom. I've only been using it 10 years. And I looked in a mirror. And I knew that wasn't really me, but I knew that was me. And it wasn't really me because I'm spirit, just like y'all are. Like I said, look in the mirror, see your face. That's your body with you in it. Look in your eyes, that's you. So, when you look yourself straight in the eyes, seriously, it can be a little offsetting for the first moment, and then you can settle in. Talk to yourself if you want. People say, Jay's crazy. This is insane. No, it's insane. is thinking that there's this wonderful God that loves you and then created hell to abuse you, and he's got perfect, unforgiving love. And what? It's like, are we playing ping pong? Okay? Because the ball's going back and forth and it's bouncing on the table all over the place. Every religion is false. Anytime you praise anything, you're giving away your own freedom. It's kind of silly. Besides, if something was worth your praise, number one, it wouldn't want it. Number two, it wouldn't allow it because it cares enough about you that you maintain the proper thought process that we're all equal. Simple thing. It's as simple as an old janitor in overalls with a big hammer. Anyway, so let me get away from everything and get into the topic real quick. I need to make these videos shorter. I know I'm going to make another video after this about the book, but it won't come out until after the book's done, and I'll be long gone. This body be dead, not me. The body dies, you all come out. When you have a car and it finally does this last thing, you open the door, you get out. All right, types of telepathy. What is telepathy, first of all? I literally just want to. I want you to think for a minute. What is telepathy? What is it to you? What have you been shown? How have you been led to think about telepathy? Now, telepathy is where supposedly two people talk, communicate. Well, there's one form of telepathy. Excuse me. There's one form of telepathy. Telepathy is a communication of thought process, but the first part of it is when you go to a person. You can go back in time, and you can go to something that happened, or you can do it lifetime, and then you can go look at someone. It's an event that happened, and feel into that person. Okay, now thoughts that are random on top of someone's head, all of you are going to develop to the point where you can get those thoughts. That's part of where you're going. That's not going inside the brain. That's taking these stronger thoughts that are being pushed off. Also, remember, the heart grabs the major thought processes from the brain and throws a little emotion in there when it's necessary and creates understanding with its own energy that's in the heart. So the first part of telepathy is being able to understand a little bit about what's in someone's brain and what's going on. But it also has to do with the heart process. The heart and the hypothalamus together create understanding. That's the first form of telepathy. The heart energy is very much involved. And the heart grabs information from the solar plexus, the scanner, and everything through the crown, going into the field. So you start getting, you pick out information about thought processes from the brain, but also some of their understanding. So you can get some thought process, but know how they understand things. Okay, that's the first part of telepathy. The second part is where you're talking with your spirit guides. They're out of body. It's easy for them to do this, but you start to hear it and start to talk with them. That's the first part of communication back and forth. You talking with your spirit guides. Let's see, where the heck are they? I made these for you for exactly this reason. Oh, I'm going to mess this up. Dan's going to whoop my butt. These cards. I made these cards for you to learn how to talk to spirit guides, for you to develop your ability to talk to spirit guides, to talk to spirit. Your loved ones that are gone. They're all out there, animals. animals are powerful, of course. Animals these days now, well, they have in them is, well, not all. It's like I'm putting it down, but they don't have animal essence in it now. They have human essence, fey essence, Feynman essence, human, fey, and Feynman souls. These cards, I'll show you a picture of the open deck, and you'll see that with what a couple of them look like. There's, wait a minute, there's it says here there's 47 cards with 82 hard messages. I think there's 53. There's 56 cards in a deck, but there's 53 different symbols and designs and stuff. I use the Elder Futhark with new meanings for some of the runes. They all have a different meaning for awakening. And then I use other ones that literally are from other planets, other ages here. A few of them are from the second age here on this planet. The ages on this planet, there's 5 different ages got us to 2012, December 21st, 2012. And then now we're in the 6th age. The first age is when Earth's own personal civilization started coming about. That's the Adamic race. Number 1 is about self. It's about singular units. It's about self. It's about beginning. Number 2 is about harmony, coming together. Okay, it's about understanding. That the second age, the original first being male and female, we're understanding more about how to put lives together and how to make it work. They didn't do that great. Then there's the third age. The third age was a little stronger, more people from other planets, other issues. By the way, Sasquatch, what they call Sasquatch, and the rest of them, they were brought here in the second age for hunting. They had animal essence in them back then. Anyway, and then the fourth age, fourth is fortitude. You know, it's being strong and keep going. And by then, the civilization here on this planet, on the Earth, started developing. It was the Adamic race, but then all these other races coming in from all over the planet, which were actually here, but for the Adamic race, and others, just coming in all over the place. That made us who we are, what we are. That's one reason why there's 4 races, 4 planets with beings on it, whose DNA has the incredible ability to bond with almost anything, and we're one of those 4. We're one of the top 4. That's one reason we had a lot of visitation, but there's a lot of other reasons. They were waiting for creation to change. Even in the Mayan Aztec stuff, they talk about somebody's coming and they'll like what they see, or they'll destroy creation, whatever, blah blah blah. No, what it was really about is it'll be time to change. If the original first being male and female don't make a change to understand what's going on, then it's going to be taken away from them and everything's going to change. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of abuse. Anyway, I keep flowing into past lives and stuff all over the place. It's nuts. So the second form is communicating with spirit guides, past loved ones, and everything else. Those cards, you can't beat them, okay? I'm not knocking other cards. I've bought probably 50 decks of cards. I enjoyed them, learning how to talk with spirit guides. When I started waking up, in 2008, when I started waking up, I couldn't feel a stone. Now I can feel them anywhere. But I'm also teaching you how to feel them. Go through time and space to feel them. When I do a video and I hold up a stone and ask you to feel it, then you feel it. Well, not only are you not here with me now, but you're not here with me now in this time. So you move through time, and then you move through space. And the stone doesn't do that. Stone energy isn't that strong, but you are. You come out of the body, you reach over here to get it. Okay. I don't know how to do this without messing this up, and I don't want to do that. I fear nothing, but I don't want Deanna pissed at me. Okay, wait a minute. Here's a good one. My snow leopard there. Yeah, this is a max power sphere. This sphere, when you have one of these within 8 feet of you, you're going to feel it going in your brain once you can feel stone. You feel it going into you. We make these. They're not cheap. They're at $800-900, something like that. I don't know. There's no battery. There's no plug. This is plastic. Okay, it's not 24 karat gold. This is good acrylic plastic, but it's still plastic. Okay, it's super glued together so it won't come apart. Pure copper on the inside and all kinds of stones in it, especially star essonite. Okay? If this thing's, and there's no batteries, if this thing is sitting within 8 feet of you while you're sleeping, it's working on you, building up your energy, your power. It's got star essonite in there. Okay? Now, and for telepathy, you want to build up your telepathy? A lot of you will use scanner and other stuff. The most powerful part of telepathy is your pineal. If you're solar plexus based, okay, you're going to get more of the scanner involved. But it's still the same thing. A max power sphere is just going to fire up your whole body. Why not you can get a max power sphere. When we make these things, Deanna is making most of them now. She's strong as hell. And it's my energy and all the stones, and I crank it up before it goes. Every bit of stone here in this property, if you could look around and see all the stone here, you'd say that floor, everything. I had a foundation pumped up over here in this part of the house. Okay, the guys came in. It cost what, $5,000 or something. Did a jam up job. This house is ready to hold a lot of stone. Plus, I got a shop over next door. It's got a lot of stone in it. Everywhere you go in the house, there's stone. Anyway, the max power sphere cranks you up real hard. Star essonite has got star material in it, literally star material in it. So it has male universal essence in it. It's got Gaia in there, the first planet ever built, and the star energy from the star essonite. That's her counterpart. His name is Raoul. Okay, so there's Gaia and Raoul in there. Spirit mates, so they're very close, very matching, very good together, and it's star energy and planetary energy from the biggest planet. Gaia's planet, 270 times the mass of Jupiter. Okay, so look at Jupiter, look at Earth. Check out the comparison. Now multiply Jupiter times 270 times. The massive gravity and everything inside and everything else. Gaia. This is where all the essence. And Lily and I had our lives starting. The first lives ever. That's a long time ago. 2.857 plus quadrillion Earth years. Anyway, so because she's so strong, when you hold this, her energy goes inside you, okay, and then when it's near you, her energy goes up to you. You accept it; it goes right inside you, and she's so strong that because she's planetary essence, which is loving mother energy, she literally pulls more of you into the body down through this filter. You have a filter over here, and the rest of you coming out everywhere. The actual spirit part, your energy goes everywhere, but your actual spirit, sentient energy, comes right through a huge cap like filter that's off your head. And that way, the major part of you that's floating everywhere, will not have emotions running through it, causing all kinds of trouble. See, that's another problem with these physical bodies. It's all leaving. 2,000 years. No more physical bodies, only a few. Anyway, 10% less. So anyway, this sphere is nearby. It's cranking you up, making you stronger. Boom, everything's working harder. Okay? Some people, it's too uncomfortable. You might have to move this 15, 16 foot away. So you're not touching it, because remember, you can reach through it. But let's do this right now. Just a minute, just relax. This is about telepathy, folks. This is about making yourself stronger so that your telepathic abilities develop quicker and stronger. Okay, this isn't a sales pitch. This is reality. If you want to call it sales pitch, whatever. Go jump in a lake. I don't care what you do. I'm helping you. If you can't be honest enough with yourself to understand that, turn off the video, because you don't need to hear this. It's not going to do you any good, and you don't deserve to hear it. How's that for arrogant, huh? No, it's not arrogant. It's a fact. I don't allow comments on my videos because there's always just a few idiots out there that don't want any of this to happen because they can't relate to it. They want to keep you from ever understanding it. They want to make you feel bad like you're an idiot for listening to it, when usually they're actually afraid that you'll be able to develop these abilities that you already own. You already own, they belong to you, and then they'll be left. They'll feel this big in their own mind. No one should ever feel like that. Everything's equal. Anyway, all right, just relax. It's hard for me to breathe. I have 2 real bad lung diseases, but just take a nice full breath, then take 2, 3 more. Just for a minute. Don't give a damn about anything. Just relax. If the door's not open, if the water's not running, if the fire's not on, folks, just let it go. Don't worry, nothing's going to happen. All right, okay, relax. Open up. Let your energy just flow. Let yourself float around. You've never been as safe as you are now. Those original angels aren't around. They don't exist anymore except for a few good ones. They're not beating you up, running you. Everything else, they're pretty much gone. And nothing can hurt you. So, just relax. Everything that could and would is dead now. Okay, just relax. Be calm. Just forget everything. Sometimes you can feel like you look at the water on a calm lake, and you can think about it just softly moving, and then you can relax and open up more, and you feel yourself flowing through that same soft water, and it's relaxing. The water's just slowly moving, and you're starting to flow in it, and just barely moving a little bit with it, and you're calm. Now, relax. Look at the sphere. Okay, just look at it. Reach into it. Extend yourself into it. Wait to see what you feel. If you don't feel anything, go ahead and pause it and stare at it. Go ahead and pause it now. Okay. When you relax and go out to feel it, you'll feel it working on your head, your body. Everyone's different. We're all a bunch of different frequencies. Plus, individual stones have slightly different frequencies. So when you can feel it, if you can feel stone, you just felt that, okay? As long as you were relaxed and open up, you can feel it. We've people coming over here, plumbers, new tile for a special bathroom for Deanna. The people put in the AC unit, people put the roof in and everything. Whenever these people came out to do all this work in the house, and the foundation guy, I was telling him, I said, you see stuff, man. You got people coming by to see you all the time. And he goes, yeah, I sure do. It's really weird. And I said, no, it's really normal. He goes, how do you know? And I said, just know. It's not important. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're seeing it and that you have some faith in yourself. That's what matters. Anyway, this is stuff that y'all do. You went through time and you went over distance to feel that stone. It'll go 8 feet, guaranteed. When people are sensitive, it'll go farther, but you just went. I'm in Duluth, Georgia, just north of Atlanta. So where are you? Other side of the world? Yeah, that's not even touching what you can do. You need to learn how to have faith in yourself, to relax and accept who you are. to enhance your already existing but sluggish and sleeping telepathic abilities. So the second type of telepathy is talking with your spirit guides. Now the third part is when you communicate back and forth with people in a body. Okay? Remember, telepathy is using the brain to talk with another brain. That's your spirit central talking with another person's spirit central. So if someone isn't awake, it's really hard to talk to them. I have a friend, his name is Richie. Rich, we call him Richie, but he's good with it. haven't seen him in a long time. This is 2010. I pulled up to the Starbucks where a lot of us met, and when I pulled up in front of the place. Richie was near the window, so I saw him, and he said he was doing, selling drugs for companies and stuff. He's a salesman, and he's working on a computer. He's thinking real hard, so his conscious mind is seriously engaged. If someone's conscious mind is seriously engaged about something, it's going to be hard to connect with them. Okay? You have to be in a more relaxed, awakened state. Richie's cool. He's understanding stuff's going on, but he's not really awake yet. But he's awakening. So I sat there. He was working on a computer, and I just softly said, "Hey, Richie," in my head. I sent out the thought process that said, "Hey, Richie." And then he just kept going. I said, "Okay, that's nothing." So I did it stronger. But just a little bit. And nothing happened. I said, "Okay." So then I said, "Damn it." I said, "Richie." And then all of a sudden he goes, "Stop," and he goes, and then he goes back. And then I got not pissed, mad, but then I got really cranked up. And then I said, "Richie!" And he turned around and looked right at me. And he waved. That's me sending a blast to him. Now animal essence, they're really receptive, they're really powerful, and their bodies, because they have other handicaps, their bodies are made to really let more energy flow through, to be more telepathic. What if we always talked about, many people, animal instincts? It's metaphysical. They're being able to use their abilities through their bodies. I've said this many times. I had a consult, and the first major consult I did on my own, it was like a 4-day affair out in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it was 3 days. It was about 3 days of work. But driving and everything takes time. The whole time I was gone is 4 days, so it's a little over 3 days. 3 days and one short part of a morning for consults. I did 41-hour consults back to back, and gave 3 classes. Anyway, one of the consults, there was some the windows were open, talking in a room in this nice lady's house, and then you could hear the crows came in, and not crows, some other bird that makes a lot of noise. Usually you'll see a flock of them, like 100, go up to a tree or more. Go up to a tree and they start, rah, rah, you hear that noise, drives you crazy. So anyway, we were talking, got into the consult, and then they started squawking, making a lot of noise, and I didn't want to get up to close the windows. So I said to the girls, "Just a minute." And then I went into their heads and I said, "Stop." And then they all stopped, and I said, "Okay." And then she looked at me like, "Something just happened." Yeah, I said, "Yeah, I told them to stop." And then later on, they started squawking again. And they all started, and this tree full of them. We're not talking 4 or 5. We're talking at least 100 of them. It was so loud. It was, I don't know, over 100 foot away, but it was still loud as hell. So I said, "Just a minute." And then I told them, I just told them to shut up, and they stopped, and I just kept going. Doing this, talking to them, I didn't touch my head, but I'm trying to show you that I used my pineal. I just used my pineal, boom, and they shut up again. So I started talking, and then she started freaking out a little bit, like, what do you got? What's what? I'm like, relax. I told them, shut up. And then we started to go back at it again. A couple of them started going. I said, just a minute. And I literally went into their pineals, and I got serious with them. And I hit every one of them, every one of those birds. I hit them real hard in the pineal. I mean hard. And then I said, that's enough, y'all. And then boom, that was it. And then shut them all up again. And she just like, and she started getting nervous being around me. It was telepathy. I'm really strong because I have to be. I was made like this because it was my job. I was made in the beginning to protect the original first being, male and female, and everything they built and more. Do other things which I denied. The more lives I had, the more I understood. That's why we have lives, to go in the body to develop, but the lives have been too much back to back, way too abusive in it. They never should have been physical. So anyway, so the third form of telepathy is communicating back and forth, but the receiving party or talking party, they have to be, somewhat alive and aware. But if you practice this, even just reaching out to other people, and you can use your heart to feel other hearts, and that's communication. You can be telepathic through the heart. Okay, that's why I like the full body sphere. There's a max power sphere. This is the max power, and there's a max power full body. The max power sphere it cranks the crap out of your body. It's got dragon egg, star essenite in it, all kinds of stuff in it. The max power full body sphere, it's the same sphere. However, it's got a little less star essenite and dragon egg star essenite because you had to make room for like yellow aventurine for solar plexus power. Really good, lapis. Almost all the lapis we get is from Afghanistan. There's some other good lapis too that comes out that's really strong. There's some we found from India that's really powerful. But anyway, and then heart energy. Some very powerful rhodonite, sometimes rhodochrosite, red aventurine. These are all our spheres are somewhat custom made for people unless we specify something. The dragon egg star essenite crystal. This is from the 66-pound piece that we had. The one Michelle tried to keep and everything else. She's no longer source. Michelle Davis. She's no longer source. She had a chance to redeem herself for her other lives, and she never did, so it's time for her to leave. That'll happen after I'm gone. Way after I'm gone, and then after she has her life, however long that'll be, when she comes out, she's going to be deleted. Creation was made in a selfish manner by the original first being because it was alone and it wanted companionship, and then too much heavy particulate matter was part of their 5 energies coming together to create sentient energy. Too much heavy particulate matter got in there, and their base frequencies were 27.5% lower frequencies, what we call negativity. And that's never going to be allowed again. There's 4 new first beings in there growing, and they're all a lot cleaner than that. So, and they can be clean before they come out. That's all going to be taken care of. And also, over half of the heavy particulate matter has already been removed from the first dimension. So the more you use your abilities, and we're going to teach you about how they flow here in just a second. I don't like to use the word teach. It's like, they think they're so much better than me. No, I just see stuff, okay? In the military, you have a lot of different things you have to do, like whatever they say. One of the things, when I had the duty of waxing, cleaning and waxing the floors, I have my own way of mopping to get it done quick and then polishing it. I wound up getting a hold of one of the blankets they have, and I cut it in half, and then I took that and I put it underneath the big heavy-duty buffer, and I could buff out a section 4, 5, 6 times as big in the same amount of time. So it all depends on, you know, what size I wanted to make the cloth and how bad it needed polishing. But I know how to clean things up. I know how to fix things. I was made for that. Anyway, I'm falling away again. The thing is, getting back to where I was before I started talking about that, our friends from other planets, they're already well developed in the telepathy department. So the stronger you make yourself by doing this stuff, make your energy stronger. You can buy stones at a store, okay? That's going to help. Keep them on you. Star Essenite, strongest energy stone there is. Period. Now there's Dragon Egg Star Essenite, that's a little stronger, and then there's a Crystal Dragon Egg Star Essenite. I'm going to put some pictures up right now. Here's the rune card deck, and you know, just some of the cards that are in it. Here's the picture that's going to be on the cover of the new book. Here's the picture of the 66-pound piece of crystal Dragon Egg Star Essenite. It's one huge crystal. And then here's a picture of the newer piece. It says 182 pounds on the scale, on the meter on the scale there. If you pause the picture and take a snapshot of it and open it up, you can read 182 pounds. That's because it was on the corner of the scale. The thing was so heavy, the two guys that were putting it on there for me, it was hard for them to move it around. But in the middle of the scale, it actually weighs 187 pounds. You know, when it's properly placed. That's a recycling place. Okay? So that's pretty darn big. So these things alone will make you stronger. The stone helps make you stronger, especially while you're sleeping. I'm not saying everybody go out and buy a sphere. If you can afford one, it's going to help you like I can't tell you. Okay? Individual stones, put them in your pocket. Sleep with them in your pocket. Put a couple nice stones underneath your pillow when you're sleeping. They have to be pretty close to you, though, okay? The rune cards help you talk with your spirit guides. I made these not to make money. I knew I'd be dead shortly after making them. The body, anyway. None of us have any use for money when we're not in a body. Heck, you don't have use for money when you start going to other planets. They don't use money. This planet itself in the future is going to be situated where the basic things are taken care of for you by the commerce that the planet does pulling together. I explain it in pretty damn good detail in book number 3, the Creation Series. Everything that's coming. That book has got so much in it. Those of you that are interested, when the book's done, I'll put out the information on it, but it covers so much. As a matter of fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to put the information out on it. I'm going to tell you some stuff that it covers. So, but I'm going to do it at the very end of the video. So, you know, these videos are long. I know that. So when I start talking about the creation book, if you want, you know, go away from that. Now at the end of the video, I'm going to have other videos for you to look at that are relative to making yourself stronger, telekinesis, whatever, not telekinesis, telepathy, just building up your abilities and using them. Okay, anyway, so telepathy, how does it work? And this is explained, not just telepathy, how every one of your focal points are often called chakras, but there's more of them than what chakras talk about. There's a frontooccipital energy focal point, like an energy field in front of your head, that both the pineal and the skin are see-through. So I don't just talk about it, that energy field, and pull it out and let you know about it, explain it, discuss it. But I tell you what stones go good with it. I don't know, it's maybe 27 pages of this book are going to be about stone. The different energy fields that are in the body, and then the stones relative to that. Now, there's a lot of stones that are used in most all the other different fields. It doesn't matter. If you want to work on a certain field, I want you to have the stones that you need to work in that field. And as time goes on, you're going to find out, before you know it, you have all the stones you want to work on your whole body. And you can take all those stones, you can wrap them up with some star essonite and some tin and some copper foil, and make yourself a little sphere. Be careful, it can cut you though. The copper foil, and it has to be pure copper foil. Anyway, how does it all work? Okay, you are spirit, sentient energy. You are inside a body, captured, jailed, enclosed, cannot escape until you blow up the jail or the jail falls apart around you. Maybe jail is a harsh term, whatever. You're in a car, the doors are welded shut and the windows don't work, you can't get out. You're the energy that makes that car go around. It has a heart to pump blood. It has a brain to control the body and to keep it going. Excuse me. Arms and legs to facilitate different necessities for different functions. But how does it all work? That's how it works. Spirit inside. The strongest focal point of your spirit within your body is in your brain. I won't do it now, but I've talked about how spirit's put in the body and everything else. I'll find some good videos to put at the end of the video. When I start talking about the book, if you get tired of that, just go to the very end and check the end annotations, the end, whatever, the videos at the end that are relative to the same thing. Or turn it off now, whatever you want to do, man. This is for you. So whatever you want to do with it, fine. I had to put it out there. You don't have to listen to it. I'm trying to help. It's my job. Serve and protect. Those of you that really know me well, you know when it's time, I can be aggressive like no one's business. Especially when spirit was attacking other people. Anyway, that's a real strong part of me, so it's easy for me to get lost in that. It's easy for me to get lost anyway, but especially there. So the major part of the spirit that's in your brain, it's in your brain. That's the primary focal point. Your autonomic nervous system that tells your lungs to keep breathing in and out, tells your heart to keep working. Well, it comes somewhere in the brain. Folks, that's your spirit. That's you, the real you. Doing as much as it can to keep the body driving. Okay? To keep it moving. Uh, there's different. Your spirit, with all its abilities, is inside you, but it's trapped. You can't get out. Now, there's different ways that it moves through your body while it's in there that can give you help you utilize a partial amount of your abilities. See, when you're not in a body, that's when you're you. That's when you're powerful. That's when you're free. But when you're stuck in a body, you're not. Okay? But there are outlets. The biggest part of your brain is like a processing unit. When you want to talk telepathically, it's most often and always including the pineal. Okay? When someone's really strong solar plexus, the pineal's still involved, but they'll also be cranking up the solar plexus right here to talk that way. The brain will say, okay, we're going to reach out and talk to someone. It'd say, I want to go talk to Tahir, okay? And when I say that, I got to make sure I don't, because it's so natural. When I say that, I'm already there. So I'm not. He's busy. He's got stuff he's doing right now. Excuse me. Okay, so the main part of the brain, base part of the brain says, it's my spirit, the strongest part of my spirit inside my brain. It says, okay, I want to go talk with someone. So I literally take more of my core energy, which is like the reservoir of your energy. It's the biggest, strongest part of all your energy in the body. But it's not the strongest part. The strongest part of your focal point's right here, but it's small. The major part, like a reservoir, is going through your body, and it's very strong. So the brain says, okay, we want to go talk. So more of this core energy comes up into the hypothalamus, and then it goes out into the pineal. The pineal gland is made such that when its design and its composition inside it's not like a solid, cherry. Okay, it's got a weird design to it. I'm not even going to go there. Just go ahead and Google pituitary inside, whatever. But anyway, so your spirit, it's your spirit, part of you, goes into the pineal gland and then opens up into the pineal field, which then goes to the front occipital focal point right here, and it fills up this energy field right here, really strong, and then it'll also reach out multidimensionally anywhere. When you're talking to an individual person that's in a body, your scanner is important, and everyone uses a scanner. Everyone uses their pineal. So this brain is the scanner works right off of the brain itself. Okay. A certain area of the brain, but it's a big section of it. Mostly in the frontal area, but it's the front half, a little more in the front half of the brain. So it takes off like this, and you go somewhere to see someone, and then as you do that, the pineal itself, plus the brain mass focusing in a certain way through this front occipital energy focal point, which is what? Energy field focal point. What is that? That's part of you. That's right here. But especially going through the pineal, it literally changes the energy going through that to make it easier to express your ability to see multidimensionally. Now, if you want a better explanation than that, sorry. Don't have it and don't ever expect to get it. You'd have to take the pineal, slice it in half, and say, this does this, this does that. David Wilcock tried to do that, and he's just lost. Okay, I love the guy. I'm not beating him up. I'm just saying. He's got false information out there. I'm telling you. He's wrong. I don't pick on people, but when it's important to someone for them to get their abilities going and someone's talking crap and he's popular, I'm going to tell you. It's, and he's not Edgar Cayce either. He looks just like him. He's got similar DNA traits in him, but he was not Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce's still in a female body this life. Edgar Cayce was an awesome soul. And this soul that's in this woman is still lost, but having a very frustrating life. This life, he is mad, and he doesn't like being in that female body either. Anyway, the more you develop your telepathic abilities, the more you can also see other people's energy, understand who they are, see, feel. Telepathy is a lot more than just communicating back and forth. It's about understanding, which comes from the hypothalamus, which the pineal goes right into. So does the scanner, goes into the base part of the brain, which definitely feeds in and out of the hypothalamus. So the brain, the spirit says, okay, we're going to use this. It's time to talk. And then, and for most people, the majority of that comes through the pineal. But you're always using both of them. You're always using all your body, okay? But that's what fires up part. So your core energy gets, which is your spirit, okay? Spirit core. It comes up. The brain says do it. The spirit core comes up here, and it goes out into the hypothalamus and then out into the pineal and the scanner, which they both connect to the hypothalamus. So anyway, and then you go out to someone. So you can see him, feel him, and everything else. But if they're strong enough how to do this, as soon as you touch them, they're going to feel you in the brain. So they'll say, hey, and they turn around. I have not meant to, but I've been really rude a few times, talking with Tier and some others when they're in the middle of some important meetings. So I've had to learn how not to be, a jerk. In regards to that, anyway. I never had the intention of doing it, but I screwed up and I did. There's more than you think involved in becoming who you really are. People, once you start doing this, man, you'll never go back. When I first started cranking up people, it was stronger, hard energy than it is now. I'm better at it. Well, I can still do it, but I haven't done it for a while. And we'll never do one again. There's almost nothing left of me anymore. So, like I said, I'm days away from leaving, not weeks. Exact day, don't know, don't care, but it's almost here. Yesterday I was talking with Deanna, and part of me is just so anxious to get out and so aggressive, and Deanna and I are very close to each other. It's a different kind of relationship, but we really care about each other. When you have love, you care about others. They mean a lot to you, whether it's your sister, your brother, someone you're in love with. It doesn't matter. It's strong, it's powerful, and what I am outside of the body is getting more rigid, and and here I'm getting more rigid too. I'm more, when we're out of body, we have feelings and everything, but it's like we're not plugged into a socket anymore. We're more serious. I've said before, on the other side, we play for keeps. I'm really talking more about what I do to serve and protect. And as soon as the original first being male and female were taken out, everything else went nuts. Everything else that was a problem, that wanted to be the new god, the new boss, and started abusing everything, they went crazy. And other stuff that's trying to help didn't know what to do, because no one ever ran a life except the original first being male and female, so it's been nuts. By the end of March, that'll be pretty much settled down. The end of March is when when we're supposed to get the information back on the book for the next editing from the publisher, from the editing company. Some big folks out of New York. And then once we're done with the book, it'll be copyrighted again. Second copyright. Then you'll have all the information. But anyway, getting again back to the telepathy. When you connect to someone and they're already practiced at it, they understand it, they're good at it, then you can start connecting. And the more you do, the more you do it, like anything else, the better you get at it. When I first started getting into telepathy, I was in a house early in the morning, and all of a sudden someone said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm more awake than you are." And it was a young girl out in Greece, one of the family members. And I looked at her, and I said, "Yeah." And I looked at her, I saw her mother over there, and I said, this is before I got my part of my brain transmutated. And I said, "Yeah, see you all out there." I said, "You're near, not too far from the, kind of up the hill, but you're looking down. You can look down and see the ocean." Had a lot of Greece like that, but I said, "That's nice." And saw things about her house, her life, her mother's life, who they are, who they were. But we started talking back and forth, and I said, "Oh, this is weird." She said, "Yeah, I was told from the other side that you were just getting, to the point where you were telepathic and you need to have some help talking." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And I said, "Well, how do I know I'm even talking to you?" And then she said a few things that I never would have said. That thought has never been in that thought process she threw at me has never been in my head. So that way I knew that I was talking with someone unique. When you start talking with your spirit guides, they're going to talk with you where you can understand, but using different words, different language. It might be choppy. It might go sideways. Instead of saying all these people, they might say the vast amount or y'all or something different dialect. They do that so you can understand. It's so that it's easy for you to accept, easier for you to understand that you're actually talking with someone, that you're not making it up. The hardest part about waking up is trusting yourself and realizing you do have these abilities, even though you were told nothing like that was ever possible. So anyway, that first communication with that young girl in Greece, I just shut that down and left. Said, "See you." So that was the first time I ever did it. So I knew there was something going on, and then I started doing more. And then next thing you know, I talk with everyone everywhere, and a lot of them try to talk with me, and I'm so busy doing other stuff. A lot of it's fighting that I couldn't even hear. And then one of my personal spirit guides, which is part of me, my animals, that part of my animal energy, comes right in my face, and oh, I'm like, "Oh crap!" And then I go to the person, "I'm sorry," and we talk. It just happened yesterday. I was busy killing stuff, and I think I said it already. Ilya was talking with me about the children being attacked by the other side, by crap on the other side, Dan and my kids. So there's two parts of me that are there protecting them now. But I had to be made consciously aware, because the major control point of what I am, Ara's inside this head. Until the body dies, I'm not myself over there. So excuse me. So see, y'all are the same way. Anyway, now my kids are protected. Who's hitting my head? Stupid bitch. Stuff will come up even when it's clean, nice stuff, but it gets aggressive, and it's like, I just delete it. That's enough of that. Anyway, you all have you can't kill stuff. Okay, that's left to, quote unquote, the thing that was made to protect. But other than that, which good, you don't want to do that anyway. You want that done for you. You don't want any part of it. You don't want to deal with the aftermath of it and everything else. I'm not going to say trust me. I'm just telling you, you know, unless you want to harm something or see something hurt, then you would never want to do that. And if you're like that, you ain't going to be around long. I realize I'm aggressive in some stuff that I say, and I realize it's easy for someone to think I'm arrogant, and I understand it's okay. You can't just believe anything I tell you. You have to think about what you feel good about, explore that, and then you just keep going. You're going to find out I'm right on target. And I'm not some incredibly awesome being. Hell no. I'm the old man that's been standing at the intersection watching all the cars go by. I can tell you what's been happening. That's all. Royal family. But anyway, that's the basic. I get a little more into it in the book. I definitely get more into it, and I do it with all the different energy fields, how they work together, how the energy flows through all of them together at the same time. I'm telling you, there's never been and never will be a book written, the information available that's in that book. It's going to sell for $88. It's not cheap. It's not on Kindle or anything else. It'll be sold through the website, and what I'm sure it'll be Amazon.com and everything else. So that's the basis of how telepathy works in the 3 different types. Telepathy, your heart's involved. It's mostly the pineal, but the heart's involved, the skinner's involved. And it's like the information in the book, when you understand exactly how everything works together continuously at the same time, you'll understand more about who you are, how your spirit releases parts of its abilities through different organs and stuff in the body. Remember, it's like understanding what you have to do to ride a bike, understanding what you have to do to drive a car, understanding how to build an engine allows you to do it. The first step is understanding. Until you understand, it's fight. It's a fight. It's a 99 out of 100 times is a really depressing situation because you have no idea what's going on. And you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's real. Well, now you know the 3 different types of telepathy. Now you know now you know how it happens, how it's controlled. The strongest part of your focal point that's within your brain, like a reservoir, controls how everything happens through your body, including the autonomic nervous system to keep you breathing and your heart going. Either the body is destroyed or that your spirit's pulled out of the body. That's why I've said many times, when there's no more spirit in the body stops. Can't the body keep going? People ask that very naturally, and I would have too, until I realized for myself, no, there's nothing in there to run it anymore. All of you have abilities. Well, I'm going to show you a couple a couple pictures of some of the spheres and stuff, some of the equipment stuff that we have that'll help you get stronger, increase your telepathy, and getting cranked up blows it right to the wall. When you get cranked up by someone who's source, you glow yellow gold big time. And our friends in space, they read that. They'll go right to you. That's why so many of you that have cranked up, almost all of you, have our ET friends, interdimensionally going through your house, sometimes physically knocking stuff over. So, anyway, here's a couple of pictures, the books and stuff, just to give you some information. After this, then I'm going to talk about the book. But at least at this point, those people who aren't concerned about the book, you can go ahead and get some information of what we have out there that'll help, and then and then just leave. But if you really want to wake up, what I'm about to tell you, I'm going to go through the table of contents just a little bit more. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot. And when you listen to what I'm talking about, then you can understand why this book is so important to you, to help you reach yourself, to understand what's coming, what your life's going to become with our ET buddies flying around, living here, walking around. It's about to happen. The November, December this year, 2018. That's when it comes down. Folks, love you. Here's some information that's good for you. Excuse me. Here's the tools that will help you develop your telepathic abilities, and then information that's very important to you if you want to wake up. Well, to get back to the book, there's a large bit of your history involved in it. Who you are, where you came from. There's so much in there about ETs, who's here, different types, how they do things, the new governments that are going to get set up. There's a new set of ambassadors that are going to be used to represent different factions of life, of people's life here on the planet. The government's not going to run this stuff. Okay, and the governments are going to once again become of the people, for the people, by the people. It's going to be a whole lot smaller. You won't be needing lawyers for garbage. The basic parts of what you need in life are going to be given to you, literally, and I explain how. The book itself, I might have mentioned, is 344 pages as a Word document, and in 6x9 form, it's a lot more than that. Grapefruit juice, nectar of the whatever. I love that stuff. Anyway, how money falls away, how you get ahead. If you want to push yourself and do more, how do you make life nicer for yourself? Ways to travel through the universe without spending a penny. Actually making money. The new military. How the earth comes together as one. How energy flows through your body metaphysically. How the bodies evolve. different trade situations between ourselves and other members of this alliance, as well as people outside of it from other planets. Everything's about to change. It's all in there. Plus, knowing yourself, understanding who you are, how you use your abilities. That's important. The stronger you are, the more you know about yourself, the better the chances are you're going to be talking to some of our friends up there in space that'll be down here in the atmosphere very soon. They come in and out all the time now, but no, I'm talking about hanging around. There'll be areas where there'll be starships where they just, like there are now interdimensionally around Arizona and Nevada. There's a huge one that's been out there for a long time. There've been something of an eyesore for the Arizona Anunnaki. The Anunnaki clans, how they took over power of the earth and how they got knocked out. I've left a lot of information for you to absorb. The more you want to stand about yourself and how what you are, this body, and who you are inside. Again, look in the mirror, see your face. That's a car you're driving. Look inside your eyes. Sometimes it's a little bit unnerving the first time. Well, that's the real you. That's why. It's a little bit of a shock and awe treatment, but it just is. It's you. As spirit, we don't have the same. We don't have the same attachment to loose emotions. We're more serious. Not mean or aggressive, just more serious. We're different. We feel things much better with greater depth and the greater amounts, but we're not attached to these bodies with these the energy coming out of the base chakra. Base energy focal point. I explained all the different focal points, all the different stones that work with all the different focal points, how all the focal points work together, what part of the brain controls the focal points, the autonomic nervous system. I mean, I've got information there for doctors, for scientists, for hell, everybody. So anyway, that book is intense. I'm going to do a video on it soon, and that'll be I expect that to be the last video I do. It might not be, but I expect so. I have too much to do and no time left. So anyway, I even talk about pendulums. I mean, I talk about so much. So many various topics that people get into. Dowsing rods. Angels. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? As I was writing it, I kept getting more and more download through the field part of me. It just kept going. Originally, the book was going to be called Creation, Walking Through the Door, meaning walking through the door and seeing your future, but it's so much more than that. It's an encyclopedia of information. There's never been anything like my first two books, but this is just totally off the scale. Deanna said that this book is so much easier to read than the others, but the first two I was fighting everything, including the original first being male and female, and then even our Aramalius over there bigger than them. So that being over, it was easier, but I'm still dealing with Deanna and I being attacked by little teeny pieces of Aramalius today. Killed a lot of them so far. Folks, it's insane over there. It's creation that was made by the original first being male and female that started getting insane from being the original first being. No one else was there. They were alone. It was alone. And then it made itself male and female. Then they were alone, and then they started splitting parts of themselves up to do all that they did. And hey, we came from them, but what they set up was more than wrong. It was incredibly abusive, with no compassion whatsoever. And that's done. Anyway, there's a lot in that book. You get a lot out of it. Don't forget, anything you need, we have down at the Spirit. Well, Deanna has at the spiritualfoundation.com. Stones. She doesn't. She might have 10%, 12% of the 15% of the stones that are here in the house. There. I mean, there's a lot of stone, and she's going to get it all on there and ship it out all over the place. So. This house is crazy. It's like a fortress. It's nice. It's off the road. It's hidden. It's calm. You can feel the energy. And it's protected by the meanest, nastiest thing in the creation. How does that saying go? Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I fear no evil, because I'm the biggest SOB in the valley. It's nice to fear nothing, but it's not nice to have to deal with everything. No one needs to listen to me, but if you want to wake up as fast as you can, then I have the information and tools for you to do so. I created them. Deanna has them. But you don't need them. But to do the most fastest, get the strongest, yes. And it starts by understanding who you are. That's the importance of the books. And then, like the cards, talking to your spirit guides. You do that more, and then you get used to that, because that's quick and easy. Then you start talking with, deceased loved ones and friends and stuff. And then you get used to the talking thing, and the next thing you know, you and your friends are actually telepathic, putting images, throwing images back and forth, and later on you can start talking. But the biggest thing is our friends and ships, especially those of you that have been cranked up. These people are here. They're getting ready to come down here. November, December 2018, this year. Months away. You'll see. Oh, folks, love you, man. Take care and have a kick-butt day.